Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Two stakes races for fillies on tap at Aqueduct on Sunday. 3-year-olds take center stage in race number 7. This is the Ruthless, and we're going 7/8 of a mile. Let's take a peek at this field. This is a pretty good group, Mike. The one Gallia Princess is your 2-to-1 morning line favorite. She was cross-centered at Oaklawn Park. Brad Cox says she will run here in the Ruthless, and he is looking forward to getting her out another furlong.
It'll be interesting to see what she does, Dan. They picked the tougher race for her for sure, but I'm not so certain she doesn't fit right in here. This is a good field for 100 grand, and all the strength is sort of clustered towards the inside four posts.
And there is some speed, not surprisingly, in this race. So we'll take a look at our Timeform US pace projector. Reconcile has been on the lead in both of her lifetime starts. And I think she's a little faster than Gallia Princess leaving the stalls. So I think there's a chance she can make the lead in the rail. The 3 Tiarella has some early speed. But some of these horses are also very tactical. Horses like the 6 Most of All, despite cutting back. Value Area. So it's not like there are really stone closers in here that could be compromised by a lack of pace.
True. I mean, we'll see how the pace plays out. Certainly, Reconcile has had really good speed in each of her first 2 starts, Dan. So maybe she makes the lead. To me, the key to the pace is the 4, the morning line favorite, Helena's Forte. She had big speed on her debut. They rated her, and it seems like they wanted to rate her in her 2 most recent starts, but she's fast, man.
Brad Cox sends out Gallia Princess, your morning line favorite, and she was a solid debut winner at the fairgrounds. She earned a very respectable 77 Beyer speed figure. She had to fight and dig down deep to win that race, so she likely gained a lot of experience. Now she's going to break from the inside post, but she's tactical enough to work out sort of a pace-tracking, ground-saving trip.
Yeah, I mean, she ran really well first time out. She was very professional too, Dan. I mean, they just sort of put her right in behind. The horse that was on the lead was the runner-up, an Asmussen Firster who was favored in that race. And Gallia Princess was just right behind her the entire way. She had to hold her position waiting for room. And then when she got it, she really finished gamely in there because that Asmussen Firster was not giving it up. And this horse had to come and get her she did.
Reconcile in number 2 was a debut winner for Linda Rice at Aqueduct over Fast Going. She just went right to the front that day, shrugged off her pace pursuer, and there wasn't much closing going on behind her. They sent her down to Laurel for the extra heat day, and on this day, I thought it was one of the more pronounced rail biases I'd seen at Laurel in a long time. Now, Reconcile broke sharp, and it looked like she made the lead in the rail, but she drifted just a bit, and Geron Barbosa, on the eventual winner, Rowan Ngata, sneaks on through. And Jamie Rodriguez realized his mistake, and he tried to tighten things up, and he eventually got dazed for it. The winner came up the rail. Reconcile was close to the rail most of the way. How do you evaluate it?
Yeah, and even while bumping that horse, she still couldn't fight her off there, Dan, but I still thought it was a good performance and a step in the right direction for Reconcile because that pace was pretty solid, man. I know if you just look at the fractions, maybe it doesn't look like she was going that fast. I thought it was pretty fast, and she was taking pressure up there too. So I don't know. I liked her second career start. I really liked her debut on this track more than anything else. She just looked really ready for that start for Linda Rice and had good speed once again.
Tiarella, the number 3, is another filly. It looks like she might appreciate more distance. Just take a look at the size of her. She's a daughter of Nyquist, who took some money for her career debut in a short field for trainer Horacio De Paz. Makes the lead in the stretch. Looks like she's on her way, and she's just going to get a little bit tired late. I'm not sure this is a great loss for her, but did she really have to be cranked up first time?
She didn't, and it's also at least worth pointing out, this was a fast and contested pace, man. She was up there and she was engaged the entire way. So you saw in the stretch run there, Dan, where that winner came from. She was well back and she came and she closed it down. This horse did a lot of running. I'm not thrilled that they're going to run her in a stakes race second time out, especially this kind of a stakes, because this is a good field, but she might have a lot of talent.
The number 4 is Helena's Forte, and Mike mentioned the speed that this one showed in her career debut, and she looked good that day, and everybody knew. She took all the money in a 10-horse field. She won easily, rated in her second start, rated in her third start, ran well both times, including last time out in the Letellier Memorial. I think with her kind of speed, Mike, she doesn't necessarily need the lead. I think she's sitting just off the 2 and is right in the thick of things when they turn for home.
Yeah, they're supposed to go forward this time, whether they, put her on the lead or try to make the lead with her or not. She's supposed to be forward in here, Dan. Her debut was really good. Her second start in the Fern Creek, which was a pretty tough field, she ran great that day. It took an odds-on favorite. That horse that ran her down there for Cox was already a multiple stakes winner. This horse was right off of a maiden win. And then last time, she just got a terrible trip in that race and ran way better than it may look on paper. I think she's not the morning line favorite. I think she's the horse to beat.
Low Society is the number 4. She's the only two-time winner in the field, and we'll take a look at her most recent start. Her first race off the Mike Maker Claim. It was only a 4-horse field. She was able to get to the lead. She controlled the tempo. She sprints on home and was never threatened. Much improved by her speed figure, but likely this race shape on Saturday is going to be a lot different.
It's just a way tougher field. I don't think she can make the lead this time. Certainly, she took a big step in the right direction first time out for Mike Maker. She's got to improve again.
Most of all is the number 6 going out for trainer Bill Mott. And I guess there's a way to say she's a little bit dirtied up. She debuted sprinting against a pretty good horse in Candide, and Mott doesn't usually have him cranked up to win first out. Then they try turf. They catch 3 wet tracks. So they're cutting her back to 7. We usually like that turn back from routes to 7 furlong races, and at least she's shown some early ability. She may need a fast pace to collapse for, but I don't think I'm willing to give up on her just yet.
I don't think I would either, but it's starting to become
Yeah.
fair to question, how good she actually is at this point anyway, Dan. I mean, she's got the one win over a sloppy track in a race that was rained off the turf. She's main track only against nobody. And she wins for fun. They've tried her in 2 tougher spots since then, and it hasn't really been close.
Value area, the number 7 goes out for trainer Todd Pletcher, and this horse was knocking on the door and knocking on the door. And after 5 lifetime starts, you were beginning to wonder if she was going to be somewhat of a money burner. Well, she was odds on last time out, and she made the lead turning into the stretch, and she just gets a little bit tired at the end. She still holds on to win by a neck. At least she got that monkey off her back. She's a maiden winner. Now she steps up in class.
Exactly. She did finally break through last time. It wasn't a great performance, but at least she got the job done, Dan. It feels like she's in pretty tough here.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Ruthless Stakes. It's 100 grander, and you're going with Helena's Forte. I want to use Helena's Forte along with my top selection, Reconcile. To me, they're the main 2.
Yeah, this is a really good field. I just prefer Helena's Forte. I think she's the horse to beat, and she's not the money line favorite.
Curious to see what we get from Reconcile, stretching out to 7 furlongs for the first time, hoping that maybe they leave her alone just a bit down the backstretch. 4-2-1-3 for Mike, 2-4-5-1 for me. One of 2 stakes races at the Big A on Saturday is the Ruthless. Best of luck.